Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs. I've got a very cute little treat box for you today. This is actually cased from this box. A customer sent me a birthday gift this year in this box, and I loved the box so much that I held on to it because I knew I wanted to recreate it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm using the Words of Cheer bundle. Great stamp set. I love the word dies. I've got 2 other projects over on my blog. Make sure you click the link here on YouTube to go over there and check those out. All right, let's make our box first. You're going to need a piece of thick, basic white cardstock that measures 6.5 by 8.5. Now these measurements are over on a free PDF over on my blog. So again, make sure you go over there and check it out. All right, we're going to score the long side at 3 and 4, 7 and 8. And then I'm going to turn it to the short side and score it at 1/2 inch, 1.5, and 5.5. Okay, now before we do anything, we want to burnish those. Woo, there goes my bone folder flying across the room. We want to burnish those lines. So get your bone folder and make those lines nice and crisp. This is going to help your box go together really nicely. All right, now there are a couple of other score lines that we're going to add. You're going to need a ruler and either your scoring tool from your Simply Scored or your bone folder. With the, well, see this side right here has 2 sections and this side has 1 section. The 1 section is the bottom, okay? This top two section is our top. We're going to actually, let's cut off part of it before we add these score lines, okay? You're going to cut off the top 2 here and the top 2 there. All right, so very carefully cut those off. All right, now these 2, let's see, I'm going to turn my paper over. These 2 sections right here, we want to put diagonal lines. So I'm going to take my ruler first. These are 1 inch wide sections. I'm going to mark the half inch mark right in the middle, okay? So make a mark right at the 1/2 inch. Now with that scoring tool, you're gonna put your ruler from this line to that bottom corner right there and make a diagonal score line. Okay, now do the other corner, the other side. Okay, again, let's do this one right here. And this one right here. All right, now we've got some more cutting to do. We're going to cut this little rectangle off. Okay, then we're going to come in and cut these score lines. And on these square tabs here in the middle and on the end, we're going to cut the corners off of those. Okay, and it looks like this corner, this line is not straight. I want to make that one nice and straight. All right, cut, cut. All right, the last thing that I like to do is cut the corners off of this long tab here on the end, like that. Okay, now I'm going to round these tabs right here, and using my I can't remember the name. This punch, it's on the supply list. This punch, for some reason, I can never remember the name, and I don't know why. I should write it on there. I'm going to fold in the side, and I'm going to stick that in so that that corner is right there in that corner rounder punch. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side, and you've got to kind of fold your paper to get it to fit in there. And there we go. Now, once your paper is like this, you are ready to go. Okay, let's put some tear and tape over here on this edge. I've got my tear and tape. Tear and tape is really good because it's the perfect width right there. on that skinny tab. I'm going to go all the way down. Wow, look at that. I tore it and it's just the right size. Take your pick tool to get that backing off. And we're going to fold that in and fold that in, and they should match perfectly. See that? There's your box so far. Now these lines, what I forgot to do is burnish those lines that we made. So I'm going to try to do that. What those lines are there for is so that our piece will pinch in. And because I didn't burnish them ahead of time, now they're going to be stubborn. Let's see if I can get them to pop out. There we go. Make sure you burnish those lines, pinch them in before you put your box together. All right, now let's add some adhesive. Let's see, I think what I will do is use some liquid adhesive here. I'm going to add just a little bit there, and we'll fold in, let's see, we'll fold in this one first, and then we'll come down here and fold that one in. And you probably want to hold it for just a few seconds. Give it about 10 or 15 seconds to really kind of set. Okay, once your bottom is dry, I'm going to show you how this box closes. This little scalloped piece folds down into the top, and you don't even need to have anything to hold it closed. It's just going to stay closed. Isn't that awesome? It's pinched. All right, now I have some Designer Series paper, this beautiful gingham paper that I love so much. It is from the Peaceful Place Designer Series paper pack. They're all soft gray tones. Make sure you, again, go get that supply list, that free PDF over on my blog. It'll have all the measurements for this project and the supply list, as well as the other two Words of Cheer projects. All right, we're going to put a couple of pieces on this side. Now, I didn't put anything on the back, but you most definitely could. Well, let's get it on there the right way. There we go. All right, now let's make our beautiful tag to go onto our box. We're going to use this large flower image, and I'm putting a foam mat down on my table. My table doesn't have any give at all, so it's hard to stamp large photopolymer stamp sets. Sometimes they have a kind of a dome in the middle and they won't stamp down. So if you have that problem at home, get just a thin piece of foam. You could use the foam from your Stamparatus. You could use a piece of fun foam from the craft store. You could use a piercing mat, and that will solve that problem. Okay, now for me to color, I have to bring over my chair. I'm going to do just a little bit of this coloring to show you how I do it. Then I'm going to speed up the video, do the rest, and come back when I'm done. But first, let's do the large flower. I'm going to do all the flowers the same with real red. I'm going to use light real red, and I'm going to just give all the petals a nice coating of light real red. Okay, go all the way around. Now there are lots of ways to color with Stampin' Blends, but this is just the way that I prefer to do the light color first, and then add a little bit of dimension with the darker color. Stampin' Blends are great. They are alcohol-based markers. They will make you look like you are a professional. They leave no marker streaks, and they blend together for some shading. All right, now I'm going to take my dark real red and add some color here under where the petals would overlap each other. Okay, so let's put a little bit of that shadow there. Now I'm going to come back with this center petal, and I'm going to color it real red, light, but I want it to be really light, so I'm going to get my, let's see, where did it run off to? Color lifter. And I'm just going to kind of brush it on those to make them a little bit lighter. I'm also going to put a little bit here on the ends of each petal to give it a little, make it a little bit lighter. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that with all the flowers. I'm going to use my Old Olive, let's see which one, light Old Olive, to color in the smaller petal branches right here. Then I'm also going to use it to kind of outline these fern images. I know they're not ferns. There's these pine needles. I don't know. You guys, I never know the names of these. Then I'm going to use light Mossy Meadow for the holly leaves. And after I do the light, I'm going to come back with the dark and add a little bit of dimension on that line, as well as wherever it would be overlapping. Then color that or blend that in with your light. Last but not least, I am using dark Blackberry Bliss for the berries. So they're going to be a dark purple. All right, so for the rest of the images, or the rest of the image, I'm going to repeat everything in the same manner. I'm just going to speed up the video so that we can keep the video at a manageable length.
Look at how far we've traveled. Look at how much we've done. Truth is, one person can matter. Just look what ideas can become. The journey to our destination.
Okay, we have finished. Now, this die set has a die to cut this out. Don't worry, there's no fussy cutting with this, so we're going to cut that out. I am also using the Merry Music embossing folder, I believe is the name. We're going to emboss a real red label that I cut out with the Hippo dies, the Hippo and Friends dies. So let's do the die cut first, since we have those plates. Just turn it until you see all of those sprigs lined up in the right place. Okay. Isn't that lovely when you have a die that will cut it out just perfectly? All right, now let's emboss this. I'm going to take off the top 3 plates. We'll put this in here. And I'm going to put it on the bottom plate, number 1, and then put number 4 on top of it. All right, let's move this out of the way. And let's see what we've got. Lovely, just lovely. Okay, I'm going to use some of the gold elegant trim. Actually, nope, that's going to go on top of our image. Let's do the image first with dimensionals, and then we'll do the gold trim. Boy, isn't that beautiful? It just pops right off of that. Let's do like that. Now I'm going to take some of this cord and I'm going to wrap it around my finger. I don't want it too terribly big. Let's see, I think 2 will be enough. And I'm going to take my dimensionals. This is going to help us hold it in place. And I'm going to lay it down and then take my dimensional and just sandwich that cord in underneath my dimensional. I'm going to hide those dimensionals in a second. All right, let's wrap this one. If I can get it up into there. Oops, I did not take that off. Up into there. Okay. We're going to stamp our sentiment on a basic white label that I cut with the, let's see if I can remember the name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Ornate Frames dies. Took me a minute, but I knew it would come. Ornate Frames dies. This is why I type up a supply sheet, because I can't remember the names of anything. All right, we're going to put that right there. Let's bring back our box. And the muted color of this designer series paper helps this red label just pop off. It's just gorgeous. Really striking the, the bright with the light. The last thing I'm going to do is add a few gold. These are our gold holly leaves. And I'm just going to take one or two and tuck them in. Underneath, and we'll have one there, and I think we'll have one up here. Maybe one more on the right side. Let's tuck one in right there. There we go. All right, last but not least, we have to add a bow. This bow is going to look like we tied it through the holder, but as we know, it has that nice little lip that slides in and holds it closed. So, real red ruffled ribbon. Say that 3 times real fast. Real red ruffled ribbon, a glue dot, and we're done. I hope you love this project as much as I do. It was a fun birthday present, and I knew I had to turn it into a treat package for Christmas. I hope you guys will click the link, go back, visit my blog. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.